Hey guys, it's coreross and welcome back to Busting Rainbow Six Siege. So this is a follow-up to the previous episode where we went in depth on the brand new operators coming with Operation Shifting Tides, and this time we're looking at some changes along with some requested myths for the new season. Wamai gets grenade kills. So of course this magnet grabs grenades and other gadgets and then sets them off a few seconds later. So what if you actually get a kill with it as Wamai? Well, it doesn't count as your kill, it actually goes as a team kill. So this sledge blew himself up, which is a bit of a pity. It'd be cool if Wamai could actually get the kills for this, because sometimes you can get really creative and potentially kill an enemy player with it, but unfortunately that is not the case. So that is busted. Attacker blamed for magnet hostage death. So if we were actually using the same logic as the previous myth, then the attacker should get blamed for downing the hostage with a grenade in the magnet, because Wamai did not get the kill last time. Well, no. Wamai gets blamed for the hostage getting downed, so don't put these next to the hostage, because you could get your own team in trouble. So that is busted. Attackers blamed for magnet hostage death. Wait a minute, we just did this myth. Well, what if Sledge comes across, picks him up, drops him? Well, he's not moved very far. But this actually changes a rule in the game that was originally brought in for Goyu. So we'll put down the magnet now, exactly the same as what we did before. Sledge throws a grenade, and this time Sledge is the one that's actually responsible for downing the hostage. This is because the hostage has been moved, which actually implements a whole different rule. And this is the same for gadgets like the magnet and Goyu's shield. The reason for this is to stop basically people trolling by putting these things next to the hostage at the start of a round so that someone comes along and blows up the hostage, because the idea is that defenders are asset protection. They're supposed to be protecting the hostage, and of course the attackers, they are the ones that are specialized in retrieving hostages and stuff like that. That's why they're fighting each other, the best of the best. And killing a hostage really isn't supposed to be a tactical thing, but it does mean that this is confirmed, which means if you're a very smart Wamai and the hostage gets moved, throw a few magnets around them. It might be very, very handy, because that will get you a very easy win. Now this one's not a myth, this is just simply because I thought it looked cool, and maybe it's also a bit of a sacrifice to the Fuze god out there to make sure he doesn't come after you. So we're going to put all these magnets down. We don't get a total of 5 in a game, and that just happens to be how many Fuze grenades come in a cluster charge. So yeah, and of course, as you can see, I get blamed from it because the hostage hasn't been moved, and I thought it just really was quite cool. The kill cam is awesome. Like I don't know what it is about that, but it looks really nice. And although that myth's not busted, the hostage sure as hell is. Magnets and active defense systems have the same range. So this was a surprising amount of comments in the last video where people claimed that the active defense system and the magnet had actually exactly the same range as each other, which I was sure wasn't the case. So we can see there, that's where the grenade got captured. We'll look at a freeze frame later, and we're going to set up exactly the same setup now with the active defense system and see how this goes. So watch carefully on where the active defense system gets taken out as it grabs the grenade. So right there, and we're going to take a look at both of these. So here is the magnet, that's where it grabs on and actually physically stops the grenade and then pulls it in. That's where the active defense system actually takes the grenade out. As you can see, there's probably about a meter in game that is a difference, and that's a considerable thing. When you're talking a sphere, that's a lot of extra space, so that is busted. They have definitely different ranges. Now on the last episode I showed off what appeared to be a bug, and this was when Capital's bolts got pulled into the magnet and you shot the magnet, the fire would go off so you could hear it, but there was no actual fire. So this seemed like a bug to me, but of course I reported on it in the previous video and let people know that it probably was a bug and that it would be fixed. But there was a surprising amount of people in the comments saying, no, this is how it works, I've seen this in the trailer for the new season. And I don't know what trailer they were watching. Like, yeah, the magnet grabs the arrow, but the fire still goes off every single time in all the like promotional trailers from Ubisoft. So this definitely didn't look right. It's a cool thing if it actually was the case and it came out like that, it would be cool. But here it is in the most up-to-date test server, and as we can see, and this was fixed in the patch notes, if the fire arrow gets pulled in, we shoot the magnet, the fire arrow still goes off, just like it does in all the official trailers for the new season. And I tested both ways, one up on the shield and one on the ground, and I also got close to this one to actually have a good look. Got a little bit burnt, but it was definitely worth it. So that has been fixed and was in the official patch notes, so that is now busted. However, I love the fact we could get close to the fire arrows because I've never seen them up close before, and wow, they're really colourful. Nice kind of orange metal bit on the end, and then this kind of canister with chemicals up front, so some sort of purple thing mixing with a grey thing. And in Capital's bio, it actually talks about this device, and apparently that bit at the front is actually a piece of glass that when it contacts something it smashes, and that of course what sets off the fire. So really cool to see that up close, and I've never seen that before, so that is awesome. Now, something I didn't cover in the previous episode was the EMP's interaction with the magnets. So of course they'll get sucked in and go off, but if there's no direct line of sight and the magnets can't actually grab them, then the EMPs have quite an interesting reaction, which is the same as Valkyrie cams, where it disables them but it doesn't destroy them, and it disables them just for kind of a short amount of time and then they'll come back online. This is probably not exactly the most useful thing to know, because if you're droning out and you find a magnet, as a Thatcher it's actually more handy most of the time to just throw your EMP into the magnet, especially if there's other gadgets around it. But it is good to know that yeah, it will only disable the magnet, not destroy it, so that is busted. So we got a deployable shield here, and this is one that I think is kind of worth knowing, but it's not really a big deal. And it was just trying to, because we have this new sniper with the lance that gets fired in the walls, destroys gadgets. So could you use like deployable shields to kind of make it so that the explosion doesn't get through? Because the explosion is line of sight. If the lance comes in and maybe you have a gadget underneath the floor, it won't get destroyed. Whereas the deployable shield here, it doesn't help, unfortunately. It doesn't protect gadgets behind it from the lance exploding. So unfortunately that is busted. So magnet through drone hole. This is not a myth. This is just something I thought looked really cool. This was a suggestion in the last video, and although it's not, it really doesn't matter, I thought it looked so goddamn cute. So if we throw the grenade here in front of the drone hole, the magnet will grab it and pull it through, and I just think it looks so good just getting pulled in there. It's like a ghost has just grabbed it for some reason, and yeah, I thought it looked really cool. And it's certainly confirmed. But anyway guys, that is all the myths for today. If you want to keep up to date on Rainbow Six Siege, make sure you subscribe. And of course, if you haven't seen the previous Mythbuster episode, definitely check it out, because these two episodes should have you up to speed on everything you need to know about Shifting Tides when it comes out. Thank you very much for watching guys, and I'll catch you next time.